motion to approve advertising a hearing for Peters Creek Sanitary Authority's conditional use application with the zoning hearing board.
So we just
That's
talked
what
about.
you just talked about.
Yep.
So anyone want to make the motion to advertise the zoning hearing board? So this is not normally something that we do. Usually the zoning hearing board pays with the zoning hearing board money that's received for hearings, but the reason it's a board motion is we're going to be paying for that.
So you have two hearings, you have one before the zoning hearing board,
For the variances, yes.
and one before
By
the
the way,
board of
John
supervisors.
made that motion, just so you know. So John made the motion, Larry second. That's for the hearing for the zoning hearing board. That is F, item F. So John Seiler made the motion, Larry second.
Now, item F has two hearings. There'll be a motion to advertise a hearing for the zoning hearing board regarding the variance. And advertise for conditional use hearing before the board of supervisors. I'm watching as she writes. Before the board of supervisors.
So we got the hearing.
Pursuant to the MPC requirements. Pursuant
MPC.
to the capital M, capital P, capital C requirements.
So this is, approving the advertising.
To advertise for a hearing before the zoning hearing board for a variance and before the board, except for one
Just
before.
saying, so this is, two advertising, motions that do two advertising.
You're gonna say something or what?
When do we want to set the conditional use hearing? You want to do it at 6:15 before the next Board of Supervisors meeting?
But don't we have to send copies of that conditional use request to the Washington County Planning Commission?
Yes,
And
and
then we
notify the property owners.
notify the property owners, so what is it? My cheat sheet, what is it? We have to advertise, we have to advertise twice,
Yep,
alright? We'll, yeah, we'll.
I'm saying it could be a month
There's
from
an
now.
advertising requirement thing right in.
Yeah, so I suggested be advertised for the second meeting in October,
Yes.
okay? But that's something that can coordinate with the township.
Alright, so we're still sticking with, John, you're sticking with your motion, or you're sticking with your second?
Yes.
So, all in favor?
Aye.
Discussion and motion to approve Peters Creek Sanitary Authority's land development application.
So Michelle, this is similar to the subdivision. We reviewed the application, we had some comments. Lennon Smith replied. We reviewed them today. We still have a couple things we want to work through with Lennon Smith on their stormwater primarily and their other permits. So I'm comfortable recommending approval of their land development plan, so long as they comply with the remaining comments that are on our review.
And just for the public, items number, or letter E, F, G, and H is all dealing with the same piece of property, the same, we are acquiring a portion of Mr. Burnsworth's property on Finley Elrama Road. We have to subdivide it, land develop it, just like Miss Grimm from the Elrama Tavern.
Correct.
We are doing all of those land development stuff. This is to put a pump station, lift station on that property to service the people in that area. But it is all the same property, the same stuff. We're just, this is how many things you have to go through to subdivide and plan. And because it is in a residential area, even the township or Peters Creek still has to go in front of a zoning hearing board, notify all of the neighbors that this is going to be there and give them the opportunity to object or whatever, so they're just going through. But I have looked up, as I said at the planning commission, their neighbors are our Nike site, Equitrans gas storage unit, and Mr. Burnsworth himself.
Yep.
Who was nice enough to even consider subdividing a portion of his yard for a lift station to make sure his neighbors had storage, because he without him saying condemnation of his property, we could have been 10 years down the line and $500,000 if Mr. Burnsworth wasn't nice enough to even consider this subdivision for a lift station in his yard.
Last thing I'll say, we did get the property owner list, everybody within 300 feet. We got that today from Lennon Smith, so
Okay.
we'll be able to notify everybody, Dennis.
So back to the motion to approve Peters Creek Sanitary Authority's land development application. Do I have any motion?
Also move.
Carl, any second?
I'll second.
Suzanne. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, approve, deny the request by Peters Creek Sanitary to forgo all the fees associated with the Elrama Road Storage Project that are associated with the subdivision, the land development, and the conditional use. So, in Judge Lucas's courtroom, prior to most of my, or all of my fellow board members here, Union Township was, court ordered to do this with Peters Creek Sanitary. It was our obligation to do the Burnsworth property, to acquire that, to put the lift station, to do the subdivision. Peters Creek Sanitary was nice enough to do it because in order for the township to do it, we would have had to hire a conflict engineer because our engineer cannot review his own work. So he can't do the subdivision for the township and be the one reviewing it. So Peters Creek Sanitary did all of that work with their engineers, what they're asking us to do is to discount the fees for us to do the review. So they've already paid their engineers to do work that was really obligated for us to do, but it would have been a lot more money to hire a conflict engineer in this situation than it is to forgo the fees for the application for them. Because they're not asking us to pay their engineering fees, they're just asking us to not have to pay the application fees involved. Basically, the township to make money for our own subdivision.
Right.
So, that's where we're at with this. So, anybody wanna, do you got any advice
We're
on
gonna
that?
make the motions
Make the
to
motion.
approve the request by Peters Creek.
To forgo any associated fees. This really only has to do with the application fees. They still got costs for sure with their engineers, with
The
their.
motion's made.
Okay, now I guess this would not include the Washington County Planning Commission, because we can't really do that.
I don't think there's any fees with it. Is
It was $25. It's a $25 check. So, you said you wanted to make the motion?
Yeah.
Larry? Larry made the motion, Carl second. And once again, I'd like to say thank you to Peters Creek Sanitary for even doing the work that they did on this for the residents of Union Township. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.